Hello everyone, this is a CD update. The band Perry. Somebody had to write their initials on their BP. Republic, Nashville, 2010. It's probably when they pressed this one. You don't know the pressing and information until you look at it. It's kind of a little scratched up, but otherwise it should be fine. This one actually plays really well, though. But let's move on to the next one. The Fray. How to Save a Life. I remember when the Fray started releasing these. This is Epic, so this would be Sony. (2005). Keep in mind, How to Save a Life and Over the Cable Car were top songs in 2006. They were on the Billboard Hot 100. They were very high up there. I think How to Save a Life was at like number 6 or number 10 or something like that. And Over the Cable Car was 05. I think that was later, probably number 15 or something. And then I think it came up to like number 6 the previous year. I can't remember. I haven't looked at the Billboard Hot 100 charts in a while, so it's on there. Used to be on there. This is Taylor Swift, Red. Big Machine Records. Taylor Swift music is really rare. From 2012. These were all of her very early songs. The CD looks like. This one's actually a pretty clean pressing. So it's actually pretty clean pressing. We got Elton John, The Big Picture. I don't have much of Elton John's music because he never reissued anything. Same thing with Taylor Swift. No wonder why the price is on their records. No wonder why they're so expensive. Same thing with Foreigner. Well, Foreigner releases a lot of stuff, but this one's actually a 1997 repress, I believe. According to Discogs, this one right here, I scanned the barcode and it came up, I think, with 2000, I think 1996 or 97, I can't remember. I don't remember any of the songs. The songs must be like, this has got that waxed picture coating on this one that they did during the late 90s and early 2000s. You usually see this with Disney movies. Disney DVDs from that era. Typically a thicker disc. Which means that it scratches a lot more, but not this one. So that's that one. We got Bon Jovi, Lost Highway. Island. Bon Jovi used to be signed under Mercury Records, and then Universal kind of phased it out during the 90s, early 2000s. 2000s, basically. You can see it's still Mercury there. 2007, so they were phasing them out yet. They're still working on phasing it out. That's what this looks like. There they are eating at Hardee's somewhere, probably. Who knows? Never mind, I take that back. Couldn't be at a fast food joint or Hardee's or McDonald's or anything like that because it could be a Hardee's Jr. You never know. Could be Wendy's, Burger King. You don't know because it looks like it got nice tablecloth. So who knows where that picture was taken? But somewhere, obviously not a fast food joint. Maybe one of those small mom and pop restaurant chains that you see. This is obviously a club pressing with a barcode, which is really rare, considering it's from 2007. CD it's got to be holding value. It's got to be holding value for sure. for sure. Maybe $4 or $5, maybe. Here's Tom Petty, Heartbreakers. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Into the Great Wide Open. MCA. This is also a club pressing. Around here, like I was saying, a lot of people bought into those clubs. A lot of people did. CD clubs, record clubs. There were tons of them back in the 90s. Tons of releases, I meant to say. This last one here says Indianapolis, Indiana. Seems back in the 90s, I guess they were still using Indianapolis, Indiana as their headquarters. So it's kind of hard to see. But it's a 1991 press. Keep in mind, RCA was up from, I think, 86 and below that. And then 88 is when they got bought out. So this is a 91. There they are. There's Tom Petty. He passed away in 2016. So here's another Bon Jovi, Bounce. Aaron Carter brought out a song called Bounce a few years ago, probably back in the early 2000s. It's hard to read, but this is Island down there. I don't know why they got to make that print so small. So, made in USA. You don't see that very often. They're still pressing CDs in the United States. I know that for a fact. Because of the, that other CD I had, I forgot which one it was. It was pressed in the United States and it came out in 2019 or 2020. So they're still pressing them here. This is a 2002. And I don't know what that's for, but that's probably not active anymore, whatever that is for. So I'll have to look at that and see if that's actually anything important, like they're still using that or not. Who knows? American XS. I'll have to do a video on that. That's that one. Here's Amy Grant, Behind the Eyes. So this is the second copy of this one I've owned. I bought the other one originally. It was brand new in plastic, and it had a radio station sticker on the front. And I lived in Madison for many years. When I was younger, though. So I had a lot of CDs with sticker with the radio stations on them. So, Amy Grant, Behind the Eyes. Let's look at this one. This is obviously, I'm looking for club pressing. This is a 97 one. I'm looking for club pressing. I'm always looking for them because they sell really well on Discogs. I've seen them sell really well. This one's really hard to get open. I'll have to put the camera down for this one. There it goes. I don't know why that's so difficult to open. Look at the edges. They're like frail. It's like somebody beat the crap out of this one. You can hear it needs oil or WD-40 or something. The hinges obviously are not very good shape. Well, that's that one. That's from 1997. That was her last major studio album on A&M Records, I believe. Her last one, so that's a rarity. Barbra Streisand, One Voice. I have this on vinyl. And I thought it'd be cool to find a CD pressing. Because her voice on this was just amazing. However, she did an amazing tradition of Over the Rainbow. Barbra Streisand I noticed this in the 80s and the 90s, she kind of went towards more classical vibe than she did in the 60s. In the 60s, she was more of like a pop artist, producing more stuff like traditional pop music during the 60s and 70s. And then in the 70s and 80s, she kind of went her own way. However, though, she is a great artist, though. This is a Columbia Records CD, so let's look and see if it's got the upside down triangle. It looks like a Fallout shelter. Yeah, it does. It's got a P there in the middle, so it's a Pittman pressing, obviously 88 and newer. So this is 87 on here. That's obviously an 88 pressing. Or there they all fall. So got a few yet to go. Get those. I fell right off the edge there after. You didn't hear it, but so I have Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution. I believe this is a soundtrack. This is also a club pressing, which is probably really rare. There's 9 songs on here. I wonder how much this was when this was new. It was 1984. Yeah, right. There's an M number written on there. There's also an old number. Sorry about that. My voice is cutting out for some reason. There's a mold number, if you could see it gently there on the side. Obviously, I didn't see that. It's right here. You see that? IFPI. That's what I'm talking about when you find CDs and they're newer than 1993 or 94. They'll have that. They'll have that. It'll be etched there, or it'll be on the other side, most likely. Sometimes they're so small you can't read them. You don't know they're there. So this is for sure club pressing. I bet you I'll try to add it on Discogs and people get pissed off because I'm adding it. They usually do. Doris Day, 16 most requested songs. I think I've showed this one on here before, or may not, but there's also club pressing. For many years in the 50s and 60s, Doris Day was the foremost female vocationist in the country, a fact sustained by many #1 songs she recorded. This collection started with Sentimental Journey, recorded with Lee's Brown Band in 1944. Traces her sensation career through many of her most popular hits, including It's Magic, Secret Love, It's Never Gonna Stop Loving You, and Whatever Will Be. Que Sera Sera is number 15. So this is a 1992 pressing. As you must know, is that Doris Day was one of the best singers of all time. So here's a recording. So that was from 44, November 20th. My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time, February 1st, 1945. It's Magic, November 12th, 1947. It was conducted by Percy Faith, who again was another great conductor from that time period. Love Somebody, recorded November 21st, 1947, with Buddy Clark, which was another great person. However, Percy Faith was the only one to have a hit before the rock and roll era as a #1 hit, and then one after. He was the only one. If you look on the Billboard charts. Again, March 23rd, 1949, and then Bewitched, May 13th, 1949. Would I Love You, Love You, Love You. December 28th, 1950. It's also a tongue twister. Why Did I Tell You I Was Going to Shanghai? 51. Sugar Bush, 52. A Guy Is a Guy, 52. Secret Love, 53. I'm not seeing any 60s music. If I Gave My Heart to You. I find this kind of weird. how it says 50s and 60s. There's no 60s music on here. I think I looked it up online. Her last and final album that she ever recorded in the 60s was recorded in 1968. Or I think it was sometime in the 60s, and it wasn't released until 1991. It wasn't released until like the early 90s. So this probably was a early 90s reissue. Probably they probably pressed. I'm not gonna go much into this more, but that's what I think. Here's Sugarland, Enjoy the Ride. Everybody knows that Sugarland is, a good group to listen to. See again, Mercury, 2006. And let me see what else we got. Oh, we got quite a few to go. Holy cow, we got quite a few to go. Sorry. Pick them up off the floor. They keep falling over. So that's what that disc looks like. That's what that looks like. Mercury Records. Sugarland, Twice the Speed of Life. Now, they had a really good song on here that went platinum that year. The year that this came out. Or a year after, 2004. It was called Baby Girl. They just had some really good songs on this album that I found this at a thrift store. I paid 50 cents for it. Hard to believe that. I bought this one new from Target. Now, that's what I call Country Classics 80s. $2022. I paid can't remember. I paid a lot of money for CDs in the past that come out in their new issues, their new ones, but I should be looking for Now 85. You can tell this one's really new because of the logos on the bottom are really new. I should do a video on all these Now ones that I got. I bought this one from Half Price Books, and the sticker on the top here was on the CD case, and the CD case broke. So I had to replace it because I try to save those stickers. I try to save the information because it might be useful in the future. It might be useful in the future. Because let's say I'm coming across another one and I don't know how much I paid for this one. I can't remember. I can just go look back at the front. So that's all the 20 chart-topping hits. People are wondering from what year? Let's find out. I think that says 2008. Yeah, 2008. If you remember now, Britney Spears isn't making any new music anymore. She obviously retired or did something to permanently destroy her career. So this is kind of sad though. So that's what the CD looks like. This is not a 2-disc one. Okay. Obviously, see, there's no logos at the bottom. They don't tell you when you can buy the next one. They don't tell you anything. I haven't seen a new Zombie. How do you pronounce it? ZOMBA. I haven't seen their music in a long time. That's got to be really old, though. 2008. This one's even older. Now, that's when I call music 11. 20 chart-topping hits. Oh, yeah. Here's the other one. Here, this one. This one's from 2002. So Jennifer Love Hewitt's even on here. Dixie Chicks. Coldplay. Bon Jovi. People didn't know. I didn't know this about Coldplay. I thought they were just a mid-2000s. That's when they started. No, they've been around since the 90s. They haven't had any new music out in a very long time. At least not on the radio, none of their newer stuff. So let's look at the disc on this one. There's nothing there. Also available. One of these days, I'm going to have them all. I'll have it'll be like stacked all the way up to the ceiling. I'll have like all 100 of them or whatever they're putting out. Awful lot of dust all over everything these days. Here's now, that's what I call 54, the biggest new hits on one album. Sam Hunt, I remember him, One Direction, One Republic, so we're getting newer. Kelly Clarkson, Maroon 5, Pitbull, Walk the Moon. Yeah, these are much newer ones. I used to see these on, back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, I think it was they were doing these and they were putting them on cassettes. Or back in I think it was the 2000s. This one's from 2015. I don't know if they still... These extra bonus ones down here probably were not bonus. I wonder if any of those people on the bottom, the bonus ones, I wonder if any of those actually did release any music. Any like new music as of like 2022. Because keep in mind, this actually 23 now. This is 8 years old now. Let's see what the disc looks like. Let's see what the CD looks like. New albums come out 4 times a year. Don't miss out on it now. So this would be 55, 56, 57. I don't think I have any of those. We should compare them to the... should compare the logos. I've never thought of this. Let's see how much the Facebook one has changed. So this is 2015. This is 2022. Let's see. 7 years. Facebook one hasn't really changed that much. The Twitter one, not really so much. The Pinterest one and the Google Plus one is completely gone. They don't do those. I guess those must have gone out of business or something. There's YouTube. There's YouTube. There's whatever the yellow thing with the angel in it, and there's the yellow thing with the angel in it. It looks like Instagram had changed theirs. Used to be like that. Now it's like that. The green thing on the end, I've got no idea what that is. So... as you must know, we got quite some more to go. Seems like this is we have this one here, Parental Advisory, Expect Content. That means it's really good for you. You should totally buy it. Hollywood Records. I'm shocked that Disney would put this out. 2002. Usually these explicit ones are really hard to find. And they wanted $1 for this one. And then we got One Republic, Native. Now this album's been released so many times, it's unbelievable. They originally released this in 2013. This is a 2014 reissue. If I hadn't told you that, you wouldn't have known. Music on here is really damn good, though. It's a really good pressing. I have this one on cassette, but thinking about phasing out the cassettes, the audio cassettes. I've had some I've just bought a bunch of them for $5 at a sale a few years ago. Got like 30 of them or something like that. So here's this one. It's not a club pressing, but it's from 1994. I looked this one up online. It is an original press from 1994, so we're good on that. I think it was produced by JVC. JVC used to produce CDs and discs for the people that didn't know. They used to. Back in the 90s and the 80s, they produced them. They made them. So I showed the back of that one. I couldn't remember. Here's Adele. Adele 25, XL Recording / Columbia Records. Although this is her much newer stuff, 2015. So just keep in mind, I don't think she's done anything between this and 30. I don't think there was anything, because keep in mind this came out in 2015 and there hasn't been any new music on the radio that she's made. So this has got to be a collector's item. It's got to be. I bought this one, and I paid 50 cents for it. I made a mistake. See how this one says Music Videos Duo? Well, the other one is supposed to be is not supposed to be a DVD. It's supposed to be a CD. And those songs are not on it. It's the completely wrong one to be in here. And this CD case is on its way out because the top here on the top is broke. And finding these Disney DVDs like these are really rare these days. And I thought this was fine. I thought this was interesting. Find your station and listen. By the way, Radio Disney does no longer exist anymore. 2005, that's when this came out. It's all digital now. They don't do over the air anymore. So I guess the only one that they have in Wisconsin is Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I live in Madison, so I don't know. I used to be able to get that in. It would be WKSH AM 1640. However, at one point or another, I lived in Maryland, so MD, I think it would be, if I remember correctly. Cumberland, Maryland. That one probably doesn't exist either. That would be following over. That would be WDZN 100.1 FM. Betcha that probably doesn't exist anymore either. As always, thanks for watching. And please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss new videos. Peace out.